The silent film, first introduced by Thomas Edison's kinescope and then made famous by the Lumiere brothers, paved the way for modern entertainment. In the 1920s, Hollywood became a factory of motion pictures, producing films by the hundreds. Audience members were hungry to catch a glimpse of this new modern marvel. The monumental 1927 film, The Jazz Singer, preluded the golden era of film, the 1930s. Soon, the talkie was born with the intro of sound, and silence slowly faded away into movie history. No one has successfully brought back the silent film industry to the heights it once held, but one man is determined to do so.
The silent film era, it's history. It's dead. Get over it. Why Rupert Mitchell would even try to bring that back, it's beyond me. I mean, who in the hell wants to watch this crap? I don't. I don't get it. Do you?
Don't be fooled by this scene. It may look like it was filmed in the 1920s alongside other great films of that time, but in actuality, it was shot in 1999. This is from Rupert Mitchell Karsten's first silent action movie, Duel to Kill, one of over 30 silent movies he has directed over the past 5 years.
The duel in A Duel to Kill is a perfect example of how artistic expression is best portrayed through body language. True drama is conveyed through the actor's emotions and actions, not their speech. Sound is merely a distraction. They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. So what I try to do with my films is I try to make them worth millions.
Born as Greg Gregerson in 1976 to a film history professor and a German actress in Stanton, New Jersey, Karsten was first introduced to the silent film by his father, who would watch the movies at home while preparing his lesson plans.
I remember as a child staying up and watching films late on school nights with my dad, and my mom wouldn't know because, well, they were silent. That's when I started appreciating silent film as an art form. My dad told me that silent film was pure film. It was before the money, the big names, the glamour. It was film at its best.
Gregerson changed his name to Rupert Mitchell Karsten after high school, believing his given name wasn't suitable for a career in the arts.
I love my father, but the name he gave me didn't really suit my artistic prowess. So I chose to name myself after my great-great-grandfather, who was a mime in late 19th century Berlin. He's the reason I decided to study and practice the art of mime.
For over 2 years, Rupert worked as a mime in the tourist town of Orlando, Florida. It was a hard life for Rupert, one of which he lived on tips from kind passers-by. Eventually, it paid off. Rupert then founded the Orlando Mime Academy in 1997. As director of the school, Rupert instructed a total of 8 students.
Miming is more than just someone moving without talking. It's silence and motion. Teaching mime for me was an incredible experience, but still I needed something more. Silent film had everything that I ever wanted, or so I thought.
I remember the first time I met Rupy. I was feeding ducks near the lake downtown when I saw this man dressed all in black with white paint on his face. He was carrying an invisible rope and he threw it near me. He was trying to pull me in. And I was like, hey man, what are you doing? And it took me a while to figure out that he was a mime. I figured it out when he mimed asking me out for drinks. It was a totally groovy experience.
Summer is my muse, my inspiration, my backbone, my everything.
When Rupert suggested I act in his movies, I was like, no way. I can't remember all those lines.
It took me a while to explain to her what silent film was, but once I got through to her, she really got excited.
But when I found out there was no talking, I was totally in.
It wasn't a sudden jump. my being a mime to silent filmmaker. After 3 years of running the Orlando Mime Academy, I decided to make silent film my career.
Rupert is such a genius, but I think the film industry overwhelmed him a little bit at first. He's always been obsessive about his movies, sometimes maybe a little bit more than others. It's just in his nature.
Yeah, I kind of got to hurry to this audition though. Rupert. Rupert was an asshole to work with. Still is today.
Yeah. Okay? Alright, you understand?
Yeah. Walk to my car.
Sprak is the language.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, speed, rolling the speed?
Yes, my good.
Okay. And action. Cut! God damn it. Why are you looking at the plane? Why are you looking at the plane? No, I told you to stay focused. I told you to stay focused on the car. You're supposed to come to the little Honda, and you're supposed to put the key in, you're supposed to open the door, in the ignition, and leave. But no, you gotta look at the plane. The plane.
Why gotta be a bitch?
Because. You know, you remind me of the little short man from Family Guy. Look at the plane. You're stupid. You piece of get the fuck out of my face.
You remind me of a German idiot. How about that?
Well, you know what? You remind me of my mother. You know, when I cut her fucking head off and fed it to the pig.
Yeah, I got bigger tits than your mom too.
Yeah, well, you know what? There's a fucking truck. Is this a closed set or what?
Yeah, I guess I can be a bit testy at times, but it comes with the stress. What is important is the quality of work. You have to have the best actors, the best camera, and the best microphones.
Excuse me, microphones? Don't you make silent films?
Oh yeah.
Sadly, Rupert's autobiographical style of silent filmmaking was generating no success.
When I first started directing, there was no genre that I didn't want to touch. So when the opportunity came for me to direct a video for a local rock band, I just couldn't resist.
Well, he seemed like a decent guy at first. He was kind of weird, you know, with his constant hand-moving shit. But
Look at the box.
we thought he had potential in the beginning, and
You look beautiful. You
Thank you.
do. You look beautiful.
he was a little weird, but he didn't have to fuck up our video.
Don't question the lack of sound, because there is none. That's right, this is a silent music video.
That was one dumb bastard.
Rupert's just misunderstood, you know? Few really understand his geniusness.
A music video with no sound. Rupee, what are you thinking? It's like making a painting for the blind.
It's true. Few people do appreciate my genius, but I don't let it get to me. The music video fiasco was a blow to my career. The band sued me and took everything that I had. I had to temporarily close the Mime Academy because of it. But still, I didn't let it ruin my film career.
We were kind of desperate for a while there, trying to get funding for Rupee's movies. I had to ask my parents for money, and my brother, and then my sister, and my aunt, and her kids, and their friends.
Can you believe this? Can you believe this? The jerk was always asking me for money. I mean, I'm in movies to make money, not finance them, okay? I mean, aren't the directors supposed to pay the actors? Okay, I'm sorry. I really got to get to this audition now. I'm working with someone that's not so insane.
And the best boy, and the lighting designer, Rupee's students, and the mafia, the Jewish and the Russian, and even Toothless Joe. He was some guy we found behind a van in the street.
I was at an all-time low. Just when things seemed like they couldn't get any worse, I met someone who shared my vision for silent film and had the money to back him.
I met Roop in a bar one night. Poor kid seemed pretty down. Rambled on, something about a mime school, but then something about silent films.
I told him that I was a silent filmmaker, but then he hit me upside the head.
The drunken bastard knocked my beer over and spilled it all over me. But that's not why I hit him. I was so excited. It was the first time I'd ever heard anyone suggest bringing back silent film. My granddaddy is F.W. Murnau. You know, the silent film director. I figured if this guy, Roop, is successful, the sales of my granddaddy's movies could only go up. So I invested in the little shit.
With funding provided by Carson's benefactor, Rupert succeeded in making one of his best films ever. Sadly, only 2 people went to see it, Rupert and his girlfriend Summer.
What? Come again? Wasting away? Rupee, who would want to see that?
The failure of wasting away. The biggest disappointment of my life. Money was tighter than a Bavarian garter belt. I let Ben down. I, myself, had no more money. Desperate times called for desperate measures. But then, Ben had an idea.
Silent porn.
It just didn't seem right to me. But I did owe Ben. I had to make back all the money that he invested in me.
I absolutely hated it. Porn has no artistical value whatsoever. And on top of everything, Ben wanted Rupert to name the movie Summertime after me. Well, I told him I'd leave him if he did that. And I guess he felt like he owed Ben something. But I felt like he cared more about his career than he cared about me. I had no choice but to leave him.
Remember the all-time low that I thought I'd hit before? Well, this one takes the cake. My inspiration left me. My career was at an all-time high while my life was at its lowest point ever. Summertime was a huge hit in the porn industry. I made back all the money. I paid back all my debts. But yet I still felt drained.
Summertime? Yeah. Moist and meaty pizza. Rupee, I'm in the wrong field. I need to be a pizza delivery guy. I'll tell you what. That one I can watch.
The porn business really did allow me to make a lot of money. But it just didn't feel right to me. So I knew the only way I could be happy was by just being myself.
A Beautiful Mime, Rupert's masterpiece about a man coming to terms with his destiny and how his voice will forever be silent, was an instant success at the Cannes Film Festival.
When I saw Rupert's movie, my eyes flooded with tears. I was so touched. I knew he had it in him.
I didn't intend for the film to be a commercial success. I did it to win back the love of my life. I did some soul searching and I discovered that I'd never really lost my inspiration. What inspired me wasn't Summer. It was my love for her.
With Rupert Michel Karsten's newfound success, the silent film industry has been resurrected. To one man, the golden era of film is only a few reels away.